Welcome along to another video, guys. It's been exactly a month since I released a video talking about the issues that I was having with the Xperia 5 Mark IV. And there had been an update released at that time that seemed to have fixed most of the issues that I was having. The main issues I was having were that the refresh rate of the screen would randomly drop to 60 Hz and it would stick there until I turned the 120 Hz off and then back on again, or if I reset the phone. And then also, there was really aggressive RAM management, and this was the main issue for me because it really slowed the phone down. And whenever you were switching apps, obviously it had to reopen them. It was literally closing everything in the background, and it became very frustrating to use. However, in that last video, I did speak that the updates seemed to have fixed everything. And everything did seem fine for maybe 4 or 5 days. And then other issues started to creep in. So I had a problem where the phone would just randomly reboot. This would maybe happen once every couple of days. Didn't happen whilst I was doing anything major, but it could have. It could have, and that could have been a big problem. So what I decided to do was reset the phone. I started completely from scratch. I didn't recover any backups. All seems, since then, to be absolutely fine. I have had a few occasions where the RAM management has still been a little bit too aggressive, with apps closing down when I didn't expect them to, and I hadn't really used many other apps. But otherwise, the phone seems to be performing really, really well. There seems to have been a couple of times with this phone where recovering from backup has been a particular problem. I usually recover from backup. You probably shouldn't, because there can be all sorts of gremlins and things in there caused by that. But I generally do that on my phones, and I usually have absolutely no issues whatsoever. But this time around with this phone, it seems to be a particular problem. Since the last update, since resetting the phone, it has been pretty great. I even used it for the last week on my honeymoon. Got married just over nearly 2 weeks back now, and the phone has been absolutely fantastic. Took some great pictures, great video. Battery life was solid. It did me really, really well. There was no random resets or anything like that. So I've been perfectly happy with it now. I'd like to hear from you guys if you've had any issues since the last software update. If you are having problems, I do recommend you go through the process a bit like how I did as well. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. So far, I think the phone is fixed. I think it's all good now. And yeah, good job Sony for updating it. But, you know, it's March. It come out in February, March. The phone got the Android 13 update last year. So we need to see these fixes quicker. I know software is not Sony's strong point, but it's probably the area that they really need to work on most and get to grips with, and make sure that people, when they spend money on these phones, and they spend a lot of money, these phones work, and they need to work. Especially if you're using them as a production tool. You don't want things happening like random resets. That's just no good. I will say, however, that even during the times where I was having quite a lot of issues, it wasn't really issues with, say, the video recording or using the camera. So I suppose it's not been that big a problem in that respect. But either way, people want their products to work as intended. It is a phone, it needs to work as a phone, it needs to do everything else. It would be nice to see Sony improve that in future. Anyway, guys, that was just a quick update video on the Xperia 5 Mark IV. Let me know if you're having any issues down in the comments. I'll see you soon.